I'm Betsy Ochello. I am a member of the Teaching and Learning team for our Notre Dame ACE Academies and a faculty member in the Marianne Remick Leadership Program. And today we are doing a special episode of We're All Readers and Writers from Our Lady of Hungary Catholic School here in South Bend. And as you can see, we have several books today to talk about because it is Hispanic Heritage Month, and we wanted to feature several books that would be great choices for read-alouds during this month in your classrooms. And also to note that these are great selections any time of the year, not just during this month when we really celebrate Hispanic heritage and Latino culture. We know from research that reading these types of books with students really helps activate the background knowledge that may be different from other books that students typically get to read and experience in school. So several of these books use Spanish as well as English and really highlight aspects of Latino culture, which would be really great to share with your students during this month. So this first one is called Lucia the Luchadora, and it's written by Cynthia Leonor Garza and illustrated by Alyssa Bermudez. And this is the story of little Lucia, who is inspired by luchadoras and wants to be a superhero. Is told by some of the boys that girls are not superheroes, and so she finds through this story what it means to be daring and brave. This next one is called Carmela Full of Wishes, and it's by Matt de la Pena and illustrated by Christian Robinson. And Matt de la Pena is one of my favorite authors. Several of his books would be great choices during this month. But I love this story because on her birthday, Carmela is deciding what her wishes should be. And she gets to travel throughout the city of New York with her brother and experiences the joy and vibrancy of her neighborhood. And it really highlights the power of hope and what we would do with a sky full of wishes. This next one, La Princesa and the Pea, is a great Peruvian twist on the classic fairy tale, The Princess and the Pea. It has really beautiful illustrations. So it's written by Susan Middleton Elia and illustrated by Juana Martinez Neal. I love this book also because it does incorporate Spanish words throughout, and there is a glossary at the start of the book so that you can highlight those words with students before reading so that they have access to the Spanish words throughout the story. And you could also compare and contrast this tale with the tale that students might be more familiar with. The next book that we will focus on is Alma and How She Got Her Name by Juana Martinez Neal. I love this story because it's about little Alma, and Alma does not like her name because it's quite long, and so her dad tells the story of how she got her name. And so through the telling of that, Alma learns all about where her name came from and to take pride in her name and where she is from. And so you can read this with students and have great conversations about what the story of their names are and how they got their names. And then this next one is called Pancho Rabbit and the Coyote, A Migrant's Tale by Duncan Tomatillo. This is another one of my favorites, another take on sort of a classic fairy tale. And it's a powerful tale about migration and the immigrant experience. And you could read this with young students, and you could also read it with older students and talk about the symbolism. There is a young rabbit, Pancho Rabbit, who is looking for his father, and he is taken on a journey by a coyote to find his father. And then at the end of the book, there is also a glossary that explains the Spanish words, and there is also several links to nonfiction sites about immigration that I think would be great to share with your students to be able to talk about that experience. And then the last picture book that we have is Island Born by Juno Diaz and illustrated by Leo Espinosa. And this story is about little Lola, who receives an assignment from her teacher to write about her first home. And her first home was on the island, and she left when she was too young to remember much about it. So she, throughout this story, asks several family and community members to describe the island to her. And so it is about her focusing on a sense of home and a sense of place. And then I love this picture, which is her classroom teacher putting up all the different illustrations that the students came up with about their first homes. And she says to the class, now our classroom has windows. Anytime you want to look at one another's first homes, all you have to do is look out the windows. And so I thought that this would be a beautiful thing to recreate in your own classroom, of creating literally some windows into the experiences of the students in your class and allowing them to share those experiences. And then the last book that I'll talk about is a chapter book called Ghost Squad by Claribel Ortega. And I love this book. It is this tale of Lucy and Sid, who are two best friends growing up in St. Augustine, Florida. And they are trying to solve a mystery. And so this would be a great read leading up to Halloween. There's ghosts, there's magical elements, and Lucy lives with her father, and she has a willow tree in her backyard that is full of fireflies, and the fireflies are the spirits of her ancestors, and they come to life, and only Lucy can see them and interact with them. So this, I think, is a really unique story and has great elements of culture and also of mystery. So that would be a great book to read as well. So we hope that you are enjoying this series and getting new ideas of new books to share with your students and with your families. And we are looking forward to bringing you even more stories again soon. So please subscribe if you haven't already so that you can get access to more book talks, and we will see you soon. Thanks so much.